Welcome back to the Legends Never Die channel. Over the past few days, we've received some heartbreaking news about the loss of some truly remarkable talents. Today's episode is a tribute to their memory. We'll also take a moment to reflect on other beloved stars we've recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these extraordinary individuals has touched your heart, please consider giving it a thumbs up as a gesture of respect and remembrance. Thank you.
Hey, it's Jed. Brandon Boyd once had fans stand outside of bathrooms.
Jed the Fish. Gould had a voice that defined generations of radio listeners. If you've ever tuned into the Los Angeles airwaves, chances are you've heard the iconic voice of Jed the Fish Gould. For 34 years, he wasn't just a DJ, he was KROQ. With his sharp wit, humor, and deep passion for music, Jed guided listeners through the evolving landscape of modern rock. He was instrumental in introducing groundbreaking artists like The Smiths, Depeche Mode, and Green Day to Southern California, helping shape the alternative rock scene of the 80s and 90s. His show, Rock of the 80s, became a go-to destination for music fans eager for fresh sounds and emerging talent. But Jed's influence wasn't limited to spinning records. He was often the first to champion new artists before they became household names. His beloved Catch of the Day segment regularly spotlighted up-and-coming bands, earning him a reputation as a tastemaker and trusted voice in the industry. His presence on the radio became woven into the cultural fabric of LA's rock scene, echoing far beyond the studio walls. Behind the scenes, Jed faced his share of personal struggles. In the late 1980s, he encountered challenges that tested his resilience. Yet through it all, his love for music and his connection with his listeners carried him forward. He emerged stronger, even more beloved by fans who appreciated not just his taste, but his authenticity. Jed Gould passed away on April 14, 2025, at the age of 69. His death marks the end of an era for KROQ and the broader Los Angeles radio community. But his legacy lives on in the music he introduced, the artists he uplifted, and the countless fans who found comfort, inspiration, and joy in his voice. Jed's story is one of passion, perseverance, and a lifelong devotion to music. His contributions helped define a cultural moment, and his impact will never be forgotten. Val Kilmer once seemed unstoppable. From his unforgettable turn as Iceman in Top Gun to his electric portrayal of Jim Morrison in The Doors, Kilmer was one of Hollywood's brightest stars. He had it all: charisma, talent, and leading man looks that made him a fixture in blockbuster films and a household name. But then, almost without warning, his career took a dramatic turn. The world watched in disbelief as one of Hollywood's biggest names all but vanished from the spotlight. Kilmer later admitted in his own words, "I haven't gotten a studio job in 15 years." It wasn't a slow fade. It was as if he'd been erased, blacklisted by an industry that once celebrated him. What happened to Val Kilmer? By the late 1990s, the roles dried up. He went from headlining major films to appearing in low-budget, straight-to-DVD releases. Director Joel Schumacher famously called Kilmer psychotic and difficult to work with. But in Hollywood, bad behavior doesn't always end careers, especially when the box office receipts keep coming. So was there something deeper going on? Kilmer believed so. He felt his refusal to play by Hollywood's unspoken rules cost him dearly. "If you don't play by the rules, you don't work," he once said. His honesty and refusal to conform may have rubbed powerful people the wrong way. He later expressed regret for not appreciating the industry that had given him so much, but by then, the damage was done. In 2014, Kilmer was diagnosed with throat cancer, a battle he kept private for years. His voice changed dramatically, and he was often seen wearing scarves to hide the effects of treatment. Yet through it all, he refused to give up. He adapted, taking on roles that fit his new reality, and even produced a raw, intimate documentary about his life. He had always obsessively recorded his world, almost as if he knew that one day he'd need to tell his story himself, because no one else would. Kilmer's fall from grace echoed other once great stars like Mel Gibson and Wesley Snipes, actors whose careers also seemed to collapse suddenly. Many fans believe these were not isolated incidents, but part of a pattern, one where powerful systems punish those who refuse to conform. Despite it all, Kilmer's story is about more than loss. It's about perseverance, resilience, and the refusal to be silenced. From Batman to Jim Morrison, his performances left a permanent mark, and even as his voice faded, he kept creating, telling his story on his own terms. Val Kilmer's journey is tragic, yet deeply inspiring. He rose to incredible heights, was knocked down, and still fought to reclaim his voice in an industry that often forgets its own. He may have been silenced, but his legacy shines on, a reminder that the true fight in Hollywood isn't just for fame, but for dignity and authenticity. Val Kilmer will forever be remembered not just as a star, but as one who never stopped shining, no matter how dark it got. Colin Barry was a cherished British radio presenter and a familiar voice on BBC Radio 2, remembered fondly for his warm presence and decades-long dedication to broadcasting. Best known to many as the UK's Eurovision spokesperson, a role he held for an impressive 25 years until 2002. Barry left a lasting mark on British radio and television. Born in Welwyn Garden City, he built a career that spanned multiple decades, becoming a beloved figure across the airwaves. He passed away at the age of 79. Barry began his broadcasting journey in 1965 at the pirate radio station Radio Caroline, before moving on to BBC Radio Medway, HTV in Cardiff, and eventually BBC Radio 1. In 1973, he joined BBC Radio 2, where he became a key part of the station's identity. When Radio 2 launched 24-hour programming in 1979, Barry was the very first presenter to host the new overnight shows, an innovation that brought him even closer to late-night listeners. Over the years, he hosted a wide variety of programs, including Night Ride, The Late Show, Music Through Midnight, The Early Show, Happy Hour, and The Hogmanay Special. His calm, reassuring voice became a source of comfort to many, earning him a loyal following and the admiration of peers. In addition to his radio success, Barry made his mark on television. He presented the iconic BBC music show Top of the Pops and appeared on popular game shows such as Blankety Blank and Going Live. His easygoing style and approachable demeanor made him a natural in front of both microphones and cameras. Barry's connection to Eurovision didn't stop with his announcing duties. His daughter, Marina, was part of the girl group Misfits, who competed in Eurovision Your Country Needs You in 2010. Though he officially retired from BBC Radio 2 in 2012, Barry continued to support local radio efforts and made his final on-air appearance in 2017. His passing has prompted an outpouring of tributes from across the broadcasting world, with many remembering him as a trailblazer, a gentle soul, and a comforting voice in countless British homes. Colin Barry may have worked behind the scenes more often than in the spotlight, but his influence on British broadcasting was profound, and his legacy will echo through the airwaves for years to come.
I think I went to school at the University of Texas. I did not study.
Don Mischer was the legendary director and producer behind some of the most iconic moments in television history. Before we dive in, we want to hear from you. What's the most unforgettable TV moment you've witnessed that Don directed? Share your memories in the comments. We'd love to hear your story. Don Mischer passed away peacefully in his sleep on April 11, 2025, in Los Angeles. He was 85. While no specific illness was publicly disclosed, his family shared that he had been in good health until recent weeks. Born in Texas, Mischer built a career that spanned over 5 decades and left an indelible mark on broadcast television. He directed and produced 3 Academy Awards, 15 Emmy Awards, multiple Olympic opening ceremonies, and some of the most iconic Super Bowl halftime shows, featuring legendary artists like Michael Jackson, Prince, and Paul McCartney. Mischer had a rare gift for capturing timing, emotion, and narrative in live television. Whether it was the solemn grace of the 9/11 memorials or the historic energy of President Obama's inaugural celebration at the Lincoln Memorial, he knew how to turn a moment into a memory for millions. He collaborated with stars like Beyoncé, Stevie Wonder, Barbra Streisand, and Taylor Swift, yet never sought the limelight himself. He let the work, and the emotion behind it, shine. Fittingly, his final project was the 2025 Breakthrough Prize ceremony, a celebration that united science and celebrity to honor discovery and imagination. It was a perfect reflection of his lifelong mission to bridge inspiration and achievement. Don Mischer wasn't just a master of live television. He was a quiet powerhouse whose dedication raised the bar for everyone around him. He leaves behind his beloved wife, Susan, 4 children, 2 grandchildren, and a legacy that continues to inspire every production that dares to move, uplift, and unite. What did Don Mischer's work mean to you? Share your reflections below and join us in celebrating a man who made America's biggest moments feel intimate, unforgettable, and profoundly human.
And this surprised us as we interviewed punk rocker after punk rocker after punk rocker, that each one of
Andrea Blaugrund Nevins was a gifted storyteller, a passionate advocate, and a creative force whose work illuminated the quiet resilience and rich complexity of the human spirit. Born on March 15, 1962 in New York City, Andrea's life was shaped by art, culture, and empathy from the very beginning. A graduate of Harvard University, she started her professional journey in journalism, earning a news and documentary Emmy at ABC News. But it was in filmmaking that she truly found her voice and made a lasting impact. Andrea passed away on April 12, 2025, at the age of 63, surrounded by loved ones at her home in Los Angeles after facing breast cancer with profound courage and grace. Throughout her career, Andrea used the power of storytelling to explore themes of identity, justice, and personal transformation. Her Oscar-nominated 1997 short film, Still Kicking, marked the beginning of an acclaimed journey that included The Other F Word, Play It Forward, Hysterical, and Tiny Shoulders, Rethinking Barbie. Her most recent work, The Cowboy and the Queen, shared the unexpected friendship between Queen Elizabeth II and a California horse trainer, showcasing Andrea's signature curiosity and human touch. But her impact extended far beyond the screen. Andrea was a dedicated community builder. She co-founded Ikar Synagogue, Larchmont Charter School, and the X Fund, a philanthropic initiative supporting women and girls in Los Angeles. Whether she was walking her dogs by the ocean or uplifting emerging voices in film and education, Andrea lived with purpose, grace, and deep generosity. She is survived by her husband, David Nevins, and their 3 children, Clara, Charlie, and Jessie. Andrea's legacy is woven through her films, her family, and the countless lives she touched with authenticity, brilliance, and heart.
About the day that he got some money and came all the way to New York, driving.
Lou Donaldson was a towering figure in jazz, renowned for his warm tone, joyful energy, and the unmistakable sound of his alto saxophone that helped define American music for over 70 years. Born on November 1st, 1926, in Baden, North Carolina, Donaldson's love for music began early. He first mastered the clarinet, later transitioning to the saxophone while serving in the U.S. Navy during World War II. After relocating to New York City in 1950, he quickly became a vital force in the bebop movement, performing alongside legends like Thelonious Monk, Art Blakey, and Jimmy Smith. Donaldson's career soared with Blue Note Records, where albums like Blues Walk and Alligator Boogaloo became cornerstones of the soul jazz genre. His playful, groove-filled style earned him the affectionate nickname Sweet Papa Lou, a nod to his ability to make jazz both accessible and danceable without ever sacrificing its soul. Signature tracks like his renditions of Ode to Billy Joe and It's Your Thing were later sampled by a new generation of artists, including Kanye West, A Tribe Called Quest, Amy Winehouse, and Dr. Dre, proving that his musical legacy reached far beyond jazz, influencing hip-hop, soul, and R&B. Even into his 90s, Lou remained a vibrant presence on the scene, performing regularly at jazz clubs around New York City and celebrating his birthdays with live sets at venues like Dizzy's Club. In 2018, at the age of 92, he officially retired from public performances. Lou Donaldson passed away on November 9, 2024, at the age of 98, just 1 week after canceling his 98th birthday celebration due to pneumonia. He leaves behind not only a legacy of timeless music, but also memories of a beloved bandleader, husband, father, and an ever-cheerful ambassador for jazz. Lou Donaldson's legacy lives on. Every time a saxophone plays with soul, his spirit swings with it.
Jack done that I ever did when he was living at home. You know?
Yeah, because you rap, that's an intense experience, being in a car.
Breaking news. Ozzy Osbourne can no longer walk, but can his voice rise one final time? The Prince of Darkness, the man who helped shape the sound and soul of rock and roll, is preparing for what could be the most emotional performance of his legendary career. At 76, Ozzy Osbourne is set to reunite with Black Sabbath in July 2025 for one final concert. A powerful farewell that promises to be both historic and deeply personal. Born in Birmingham, England in 1948, Ozzy rose from humble, working-class beginnings to become the frontman of Black Sabbath, redefining music with his eerie vocals, dark charisma, and uncompromising vision. Albums like Paranoid, Master of Reality, and Sabbath Bloody Sabbath didn't just rock the charts. They reshaped the genre, giving rise to heavy metal and giving voice to the disillusioned. But Ozzy's journey has never been free of struggle. Diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 2003, he continued to perform and record for years. However, by 2025, the toll on his body has become undeniable. "I can't walk," he recently admitted, words that struck a deep chord with fans. But he added with equal parts grit and gratitude, "I'm still alive." That line captures the spirit of Ozzy Osbourne, defiant, unbreakable, and fiercely alive. After numerous spinal surgeries, including a major neck procedure in 2023, Ozzy now uses a wheelchair and works with a physiotherapist daily. His legs are severely affected, and he's described walking as feeling like dragging bricks. Yet through it all, his voice remains strong, resilient, and ready for one last roar. This July, Ozzy will return to the stage in his hometown of Birmingham, performing at Villa Park in a symbolic and emotional full-circle moment. While he won't be performing an entire set due to his health, the show will serve as a heartfelt farewell to fans who've stood by him through every twist of his extraordinary life. To bring his story to the screen, Paramount Plus is releasing a new documentary titled No Escape from Now, directed by BAFTA winner Tanya Alexander. The film offers a raw and intimate look at Ozzy's life since his devastating 2019 fall, a moment that marked the beginning of his latest battle with health. It follows him through surgeries, recovery, and creative rebirth, peeling back the layers of the myth to reveal the man. "I've been through some of the worst times of my life," Ozzy shared. "There were moments I thought I was done, but making music saved me. I would have gone mad without it." The documentary features interviews with his wife Sharon, their children, and music legends like Tony Iommi, Duff McKagan, Billy Idol, and Maynard James Keenan. Sharon Osbourne, ever his rock, said, "This final chapter is about truth and courage. It shows how hard things have been and how strong Ozzy's been through it all. We want it to inspire anyone facing a similar fight." Though he may no longer command the stage with the physical force of his youth, Ozzy's legacy burns brighter than ever. With 13 solo albums, Grammy wins, and even a hit reality series, The Osbournes. He's remained a cultural icon for over 5 decades. Bold, unpredictable, and completely unforgettable. Now, as he prepares for what could be his final curtain call, Ozzy Osbourne is doing it on his own terms, surrounded by music, family, fans, and a voice that refuses to be silenced. What does this moment mean to you? Have you followed Ozzy's journey through the highs and lows? Leave a comment and share your memories, because in the end, it's not just about the man on stage, but the millions of lives he moved with every scream, every lyric, every note. As the lights dim on one of rock's greatest icons, one truth remains. Ozzy Osbourne never gave up. And maybe that's the greatest performance of all.
Jason, and you might recognize me from some horror films like
Peter Jason was a cherished American character actor whose familiar face and steady presence lit up film and television screens for nearly 70 years. Born Peter Edward Ostling on July 22, 1944, in Hollywood, California, Jason grew up immersed in the world of performance. His passion for acting sparked in high school and deepened through studies at Carnegie Mellon University, followed by formative stage work at the American Conservatory Theater, and as a founding member of the South Coast Repertory. Over his remarkable career, Peter accumulated over 275 credits, collaborating with some of the most iconic directors in Hollywood. He became a trusted favorite of filmmakers Walter Hill and John Carpenter, leaving his mark in films like 48 Hours, They Live, Prince of Darkness, and Escape from L.A. On television, Peter charmed audiences with his portrayal of the quirky Con Stapleton in HBO's Deadwood, a role he returned to for the 2019 film. His versatility shone through countless appearances on series such as Murder, She Wrote, Mad Men, Mike Hammer, Private Eye, and Baskets. Beyond the screen, Peter was known for his wit, warmth, and boundless enthusiasm for storytelling. A man of many talents, he was also a gifted baritone, a passionate tennis player, and a skilled furniture craftsman. His decision to give up drinking more than 40 years ago marked a personal turning point that he credited with revitalizing both his life and his work. Peter Jason passed away on February 20th, 2025, at the age of 80, after a courageous battle with cancer. He spent his final days at home in West Hollywood, surrounded by loved ones. He is survived by his wife, Eileen Rosalie, his children, Andrew and Robin, and a towering legacy of craft, kindness, and commitment. Peter Jason's legacy is more than the roles he played. It's the generosity of spirit he brought to every set, every scene, and every person no lucky enough to share his journey.
Well, then why don't you come to the ball with us? And besides, I'd like...
Alice Herson, the celebrated actress best known for her memorable roles in Dallas, Ellen, and a string of beloved soap operas, passed away on February 14th, 2025, at the age of 95. She died of natural causes at the Motion Picture and Television Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, following a year of care. But while her final chapter was peaceful, her life and career were anything but ordinary. Born on March 10, 1929, in Brooklyn, and raised on Long Island, Alice began her journey into acting at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. From the stages of Broadway in the 1960s to daytime dramas in the 1970s and hit primetime shows that spanned decades, she built a career defined by emotional depth, warmth, and integrity. Audiences came to love her as Mavis Anderson on Dallas, Lois Morgan, Ellen's complicated yet loving mother on Ellen, and Eileen Seagull on One Life to Live. Her role on Ellen was especially groundbreaking, playing a key part in the show's pivotal 1997 coming out episode, a landmark moment for LGBTQ+ visibility in television history. Alice's talent wasn't confined to a single genre. She left her mark on General Hospital, Full House, Seventh Heaven, and films like Private Benjamin and Revenge of the Nerds. She was admired not only for her performances, but for her wit, professionalism, and unwavering support of young actors entering the industry. In her own words, Alice once said, "Performing made her feel truly alive," and that passion for the craft never faded. With a career spanning over 70 years, her impact on television and film is undeniable. Now we ask you, how do you remember Alice Herson? Which character or moment stands out most to you? Share your memories in the comments and help us honor a woman who gave life to countless unforgettable stories.
I wanted to do material from my era with the band. I didn't want to go beyond that.
Les Binks, the powerful and innovative drummer who left an indelible mark on the heavy metal world with his unmatched precision and dynamic style, has passed away at the age of 73. He died peacefully at a hospital in London on March 15th, 2025, as confirmed by both his family and Judas Priest. Born James Leslie Binks on August 8, 1951, in Portadown, Northern Ireland, Les began drumming at the age of 5. His early career took him from session work with renowned artists like Eric Burdon and Roger Glover to the global stage with Judas Priest. Les joined the legendary band in 1977, making significant contributions to their major label debut, Sin After Sin. His drumming on albums like Stained Glass and Killing Machine, known in the US as Hell Bent for Leather, was a perfect blend of aggression and sophistication. He co-wrote the haunting fan favorite, Beyond the Realms of Death, and helped propel the band's first UK charting single, Take on the World, with his pounding rhythm, a sound that would reverberate through generations of rock fans. Les's live performances were immortalized on the iconic 1979 album Unleashed in the East, capturing his explosive energy. While his time with Judas Priest was relatively short, his impact on the band's sound and heavy metal as a whole was lasting. After leaving Priest, he continued to perform with bands like Lionheart and Titan, and later formed Les Binks's Priesthood to revisit his classic era with the band. In 2022, Les reunited with Judas Priest on stage for their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony, marking their first performance together in over 40 years. Les Binks will forever be remembered as a true pioneer of metal drumming, powerful, precise, and deeply respected. His rhythm lives on through the music that helped define a genre and inspired generations of musicians.
As a starting point for a fictional satire between two world leaders who have...
Robert Trebor, the cherished character actor best known for his unforgettable portrayal of the flamboyant merchant Salmoneus on Hercules, the legendary Journeys, and Xena, warrior princess, passed away on March 11th, 2025, at the age of 71. His wife, Deary Hennings, confirmed the cause of death was sepsis, following a long and brave battle with leukemia that began in 2012. Born Robert Allen Shankman on June 7, 2007, 1953, in Philadelphia, Trebor adopted his stage name during his college years at Northwestern University. His early artistic passions led him to write, compose, and act before launching a versatile career in both theater and film. Trebor's breakthrough role came in 1985 with Out of the Darkness, where he portrayed David Berkowitz alongside Martin Sheen. However, it was his scene-stealing role as Salmoneus that made him a beloved fan favorite, earning him action figures, comic book appearances, and a lasting presence at conventions worldwide. Trebor infused his characters with humor, warmth, and surprising depth, skillfully balancing comedy with sincerity. Whether playing the witty merchant in ancient Greece or a sharp radio host in Oliver Stone's talk radio, he always left a lasting impression. Beyond the screen, Trebor was a respected voice in the theater community, a published author, and an artist in residence at the Braid. His contributions to storytelling, both comedic and heartfelt, were shaped by his empathy and curiosity. He is survived by his wife of 43 years, and a scholarship fund in his name has been established through the Braid, honoring a life dedicated to inspiring others. How do you remember Robert Trebor? Share your memories in the comments and celebrate a performer who brought both laughter and humanity to every stage he touched.
What'd you say? When? Just now, man, when you walked past.
Nicky Katt, a dynamic and uncompromising American actor, left an indelible mark on film and television throughout a career that spanned nearly 4 decades. Born on May 11, 1970, in South Dakota, and raised in Los Angeles, Katt quickly earned a reputation as a fearless character actor known for bringing intense, unpredictable energy to every role. He first gained national attention as Clint, the combative high school bully in Richard Linklater's cult classic, Dazed and Confused, 1993, delivering lines that became embedded in pop culture. Audiences also remember him as the passionate and unconventional teacher, Harry Sennett, on Boston Public, a role that highlighted his ability to balance raw edge with vulnerability. Katt's film work included memorable performances in A Time to Kill, The Limey, Insomnia, Sin City, School of Rock, and The Dark Knight, where he collaborated with renowned directors such as Steven Soderbergh, Robert Rodriguez, and Christopher Nolan. Despite his on-screen intensity, Katt was deeply respected by his peers for his creative preparation and authenticity. Robert Rodriguez described him as a true artist who brought unexpected magic to every scene. On April 8, 2025, Nicky Katt was found at his home in Burbank, California, at the age of 54. According to the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner, he passed away due to complications related to mental health. Though his final years were spent away from the spotlight, Katt's impact lives on through the unforgettable characters he brought to life. He will be remembered not just for his talent, but for the raw truth he brought to every performance. His story serves as a poignant reminder of the quiet strength behind the camera and the importance of compassion for those who give so much of themselves to their craft. With heartfelt appreciation, we celebrate the life and career of Nicky Katt.
It's an important part of Detective Crashmore's journey. What are we, 10 years old?
Biff Whiff, a beloved character actor known for bringing laughter, warmth, and humanity to both film and television, was cherished by fans for his expressive face and impeccable comedic instincts. He became a cult favorite in recent years, thanks to his unforgettable sketches on the hit Netflix series, I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. Whether playing an eccentric neighbor, an office oddball, or a heartfelt straight man in absurd situations, Biff had a unique talent for making even the most surreal scenes feel authentic and grounded. Born in the 1950s, Biff's career spanned several decades. He began his journey in television with guest roles on classic shows like The New Gidget, Night Court, and Roseanne. Over the years, his resume grew to include appearances on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Grace and Frankie, NCIS, The Mentalist, Fresh Off the Boat, and even the Oscar-winning Everything Everywhere, All at Once. His comedic talents shone across both children's programming and sharp-edged adult comedy, showcasing a versatility that made him a beloved face across generations. In his final years, Biff faced a recurrence of cancer with quiet strength and dignity. Despite these health challenges, he continued to work and connect with fans, bringing joy to those who admired his craft. Biff Whiff passed away in February 2025, leaving behind not only a remarkable body of work, but a spirit of generosity and joy that touched everyone who knew him. His performances will continue to bring smiles to audiences for years to come, serving as a testament to a life lived with humor, humility, and heart.
You know, got yourself out of your working class surroundings and
Breaking news. Rod Stewart's unstoppable journey, despite health battles. When you think of legendary rock icons, Rod Stewart is undoubtedly one of the first names that come to mind. But here's a question that might stop you in your tracks. When was the last time you saw Rod Stewart perform live or heard one of his unforgettable hits? From the soulful Maggie May to the electrifying Do You Think I'm Sexy? For decades, Stewart's voice has filled stadiums, airwaves, and our hearts. However, recently, something has changed. The 79-year-old rock star, who has given so much through his music, has faced health challenges that have left fans wondering about his condition. Not long ago, Stewart was forced to cancel a major Las Vegas show, which was set to be the grand finale of his 13-year residency at Caesars Palace. Fans were heartbroken, but Stewart explained that a throat infection had caused the cancellation, a reminder that even the mightiest can be brought low by something as simple as a cold. But the question remains, does this setback signal the end of an era, or will Rod Stewart power through and continue to share his legendary presence? Before we dive into the latest on Rod's health and career, take a moment to reflect on your favorite Rod Stewart memory. What song makes you get up and dance every time? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear how Stewart's music has impacted you. Rod Stewart's life has been filled with triumphs, but none more personal or significant than his battle with prostate cancer. Diagnosed in 2016, Stewart underwent private treatment for 2 years, keeping his health struggles largely under wraps. Instead, he focused on his music and charity work. In 2019, Stewart shared the news that he was in remission, a victory that brought relief to fans worldwide. In 2024, during a heartfelt conversation with King Charles III at a charity event in London, Stewart opened up about his cancer treatment. The two musicians, both having faced serious health challenges, shared their stories of illness while continuing to stay active professionally. Stewart expressed admiration for King Charles's resilience, praising him for his strength in the face of treatment. What truly makes Rod Stewart's journey remarkable is his refusal to let illness stop him. Despite his health battles, Stewart has continued to perform at the top of his game, proving that his passion for music remains as fiery as ever. His fans admire him not only for his voice, but for his unwavering determination to live life to the fullest, regardless of the obstacles in his path. In August 2024, Stewart was set to perform his 200th show in Las Vegas, a major milestone marking the end of his long-running residency at Caesars Palace. But life threw him another curveball. The legendary singer had to cancel the performance due to a strep throat infection. On Instagram, Stewart expressed his disappointment, calling the cancellation gutted, but reassured fans that he would return in 2025 for an encore of his residency. His fans, ever supportive, were quick to offer their understanding and encouragement. Stewart's commitment to returning in 2025 has only strengthened his bond with his supporters, showing that his spirit remains as powerful as ever. As Stewart approaches his 80s, he has been candid about aging, acknowledging that his days are numbered, but expressing no fear of what lies ahead. For Stewart, it's about enjoying the present moment, embracing life fully, and finding joy in his performances and the simple pleasures of age. From his iconic Las Vegas residency to intimate moments with his fans, Stewart's approach to life is as passionate as his music. So, what's next for Rod Stewart? Looking ahead, it's clear his legacy is far from finished. His contributions to music and pop culture are legendary, and his influence goes beyond his iconic hits. He is a testament to resilience, perseverance, and the power of living life fully, no matter the obstacles. As he continues his residency in 2025, Stewart will undoubtedly keep rocking and inspiring new generations with his music. Even if he eventually steps away from the stage, there's no doubt that Rod Stewart's influence will continue to resonate. After all, he has given us decades of unforgettable performances, something that no illness can ever take away.